Abusia Mincha na Mr. Mawakwaba Emra BELLTV GH so Abusia for after say His Excellency former President Addø ife ye konwa so nyame anim rekoni papa yi ne ho sam etwagu ye pa enya sam adidi agro me pesem kasaba no pese ekọ na ekotie ensem a eja omode atudwa efa His Excellency former President Addø ene ne appointees enwuma bi omaye ede atia eye Ghana na sewie nyase ho adwucha bomade na ya kira ya adwuna be hya ne nsonso ede amaye se ha BELLTV GH so abusia se ene dedi kan woni channel bi so ye besra se obo subscribe na wabo notification bell no so for more podcast updates yenti ensama babeto dwefa Addø dan kwakufo ado ex president ene ni appointees amo echeso modi omanyi bonne papa chese ye ka senkofo adi oman abro pa sankofo no yenko ne kwete ensam no enchire mu emra sesi a yedase.
President Akufo-Addo have mismanaged this country. President Akufo-Addo have destroyed the country. Even the place he operated from have not been well kept.
But Mustafa,
it is not just the public purse.
Why then would we be hosting this year's Independence Day celebration from an unkept place? Adentia.
Do you want us to spend a lot of money when we are complaining that Ghanaians don't have money?
Yeah, but
is that what you want the government to do?
We cannot also host such a celebration. It will be Do you
prioritize ceremonies than people who cannot pay their hospital bills? Do you prioritize ceremonies than people whose bonds cannot be honored? The people can starve, punished, some have died. Old ladies who were sitting at Ministry of Finance crying. Kenofuriata didn't have the conscience, the empathy for old people, pensioners. He locked up their funds. Do you prioritize than celebration than these people? Modesty is important when it comes to protecting the public purse. Conserving public resources is important when it comes to managing the public purse. And that is what the president is doing. And so when we say we will not take Steve Match out of Accra just to save our resources, but also find a way to live monumentally the program or the yearly we should be able to satisfy it at the same time conserving money to prioritize I think that is the best decision a new government can ever take.
Mustafa, we know say on state vehicles no omanpenyin issue fiat say a man appointee bia ento state vehicle bia, and we are told that was diligently followed through. Ain't your back cars on same with appointees, it should not be a problem, meboa.
Who pass Egbert Sebo? The Petroleum Commission.
Yes.
Maybe some say saloon car na won't feel in your Petroleum Commission car.
Hey, Nansano. And some men are okay.
Mr. Friend Nebisano. Ghana Supply CEO. The car has the place has a 4x4 car and a BMW. The BMW as a speak or the coffee.
A official car.
Official car.
What like with Tria Huska?
Me say, all these people. Yeah. Bangalore. Yeah, mama, frima pari occupy. Cause be an ye tracy a call honum. We found not less than 15 number plates in the house without the vehicles. Okay. I can send you all the pictures and the videos. Obi, come and sit with the Director of Transport and Logistics and ask how many cars have they come to meet at the presidency. And these are the people who are jumping about pretending to say that they are clean.
Are you saying, sir, despite the directive from the president, appointees not still bought their cars? Is that what you're saying? And there is
the president was saying that no appointee should buy a new car, but he himself bought new cars. His fleet of cars, he had the highest convoy any president have ever had in the history of this country, including dedicating one to his seat presidential
no,
seat.
but those were cars. No, Mustafa. Those were cars and now OUs while serving as president. The directive was said appointees are free buying money. They should not buy their cars.
Let's say that president was the same man who said that if you want money in government, go to private sector. But his own brother privatized the entire government. So do you take his letter serious? He was the one who said he was in a hurry. Okay? So therefore, no appointee should take first class, but yet he was renting private jets.
No. Now
you take his word serious.
You are confusing the issues, Mustafa.
I'm not confusing you. Let me land.
Meba. The American say during the transition period, inventory of state properties were taken. Meboa.
And I'm saying that yes, a president issued an order.
Yes.
That all state officials should return their vehicles. And I'm saying that were you expecting the appointees who at the back of the president's previous directives for people not to steal, have stolen money, people not to live opulently, they have lived opulently. Do you expect that letter to be taken serious? I'm not talking about letters, I'm talking about reality. And I'm talking about reality.
Yes, and because you've mentioned ghpage Dean specifically, you are saying, say, saloon car, a one if a buying car. Is that what you said?
They say you should ask him if he has handed over all his vehicles that he has used belonging to Petroleum Commission back to the place. Ask him if during transition he hasn't done recruitment at Petroleum Commission. Ask him if during transition he has not held about 5 board meetings at Petroleum Commission. Ask him.
Yeah, but during transition, that's a letter asking him to set aside and get away from the office. He's still the CEO. Into your board meeting, what's wrong with that?
Yes. Are you justifying these things? It's embarrassing.
No, I'm not justifying. The American say for all the CEOs, letters were sent to them asking them to step aside. During the transition period, he is still CEO of the place. That's the point I'm making.
I'm not talking about he being a CEO or not being a CEO. I'm talking about activities that have taken place even within the period of transition that you can describe as unethical.
No, how is it unethical? So we a CEO now say.
Are you saying that it's ethical for people to be piling up costs on the state when they know that government have dissolved and a new government was being formed?
No. You made a point about board meetings.
Yes.
Recruitment need any another issue. Board meetings are making.
What would be the exigency at Petroleum Commission to allow for 5 board meetings within the period of transition? You should be asking them. Call them and ask them. See me, I've told you. If I've moved anywhere, I'll come back and apologize and retract. But ask them if anything I'm saying is a lie. I'm just telling you how they have milked and destroyed this country. But yet, in 1 month, they want us to think that they are clean people.
But how are you sure and certain, say, the private car you speak about in the case of ghpage, a state vehicle, as a Petroleum Commission vehicle? How sure are you?
You understand me? Say, we're handing over all the cars now.
Say you don't expect him to come and prove. And when our car, something when I was say will prove. Say in fact,
no, it's not in all circumstances.
Yeah, the only circumstance where in case are circumstances now. The circumstance where the burden will shift onto the accused person, way in count. In a way that you are making.
And I must say,
yes.
When I have served in a state capacity as a public officer, I have questions to answer to the public. Let me say, let's ask these state officials, have you handed over all your vehicles to the state? The vehicles that you used as official vehicles, have you handed over those vehicles? It's not malicious, it's not defamatory, I'm asking questions. Ask my senior brother if he didn't do recruitment within the period of transition. Ask him what would have necessitated Petroleum Commission to hold about 5 board meetings in a row within the period of transition. Is that not an attempt? And I am saying this one, that is it not an attempt to compile, to increase, to balloon debt responsibilities of the incoming government? Is it not an attempt to further, increase the burden on the people of Ghana, to cause them pain? Is it not so?
Okay, Mustafa Mreninti, finally on the state of our Jubilee House as you describe. What will be done? Because monso muntimi entwa so entna de woka se eho aye basa no muntimi entna so entna musa enti dan na mobeye me pacho.
Yetimu sa nkyerɛ sɛ bɛn nka ho asɛm o.
So the make say you can ho asɛm wi a.
O pe Rolls Royce na wa benya hard body a wobɛtena mu sa. Ghana for na ebre yetimu sa o man panyin timu sa, but it is testament of the fact that a group of people lived at the presidency and they left the place very dirty and unkept. Lack of maintenance, lack of supervision, poor job. They didn't live it the same way they treated their private homes because it is for the people of Ghana. They didn't care. No duty, no respect. Information that I know now, HSS. Most state vehicles are MPP for a issue. Abra omo abayemo cannot be found.
How is that? Abayin class no.
So that is the bizarre situation now. I said a friend woman also ebi mo dwane. So omo telephone number so da soko. Emfe woman na yembisa woman. So woman class no woman use no e wo hemfa. Obi you can now almost so yenye politics and score political points. But you see, at the end of the day, Ghana for Nebru, the ordinary taxpayer between 25% and 30% goes into taxes. Okoton suya utuya tax. Okoto edura utuya tax. Niema boa ehwa de nene ehiafo a womobre. They are at the center of our political discourse. And so as much as possible, we should be real with the issues, frank with the issues, and very frontal with what is wrong. Look, and now year you can year MPP for a press conference. I was shocked. I asked myself, sir, is it a vindication, sir? I would have thought that the government was engaged in illicit corruption, dissipation of public purse, reckless management of public interest resources, mismanagement of the country, and stealing of state money. And that political parties are not established by law to condone, to support, to help, to aid in any form or shape, any activity that undermines the collective resolve of the people. The manifestation of that uproar was to the effect that MPP have lost election with figures they have never lost before in the history of the creation of their party. Only for me to see someone by a press conference to defend all the issues Ghanaians are talking against. We'll be making. So we call Jubilee House Omanpenyi Akatia. You would weep. It is a baller.